Alright, cocksuckers. Because you guys don't know how to play the game, and you can't figure out how to learn it yourself, I'll finally teach you the game. Welcome to episode 1, lesson 1, whatever. Logic and reasoning. I know you hate school and all, and you hate learning. Especially some of our black folk that probably flunked school. But it's kind of necessary. You want to win land? Because I want to win land. Let's teach you how to play one of the most hard to defend spots, alright? Ace site. Ace site, I say we hold it pretty well when we actually have our players. Usually I'm going to be playing right here, ignoring the fact that 40 trillion bombs are going to be coming my way. Let's not focus on me, because I got my spot covered. I always got my spot covered. Let's focus on this guy, wood player. This is where things go wrong. Every single time. I think the problem is, people are getting ran down. I hate that excuse. Every time I hear that someone gets ran down, that just means you didn't pop one of these. Or wherever my flashbang is. Easy solution. Now usually, good team, probably wrecked. They're gonna be doing the little silly thing where they pop flashbang here. They usually rush 2 people here. We never have anybody defending here, and if we do, it's 𝕰𝖕𝖎𝖘𝖔𝖕, and he's gonna be right there, and he's gonna die. Let's not ever have that happen. Mid player, you play right there, you never push him. That guy gets railed. They'd probably throw another flash, they'd probably throw a pre-nade over. Horrible idea to ever play here, especially if they throw these nades and you wait for these nades. What do you think is gonna happen? There's something called timing in this game. Timing's important. If you wait for those nades, that means the enemy get, what, 2 more seconds to run up those stairs? You're dead to nades right here. You're hit by 2 flashbangs, you're stuck. So what I want to have happen is for you to use your mind and play this spot a bit better. Now, I'm not going to tell you how to play this spot because then you don't learn how to think. Let me teach you how to think about how to use this spot, alright? Think whenever I say play safe. Now, I should never really be saying that. That's my fault as an IGL. I should never be telling my team to play safe, because nobody knows what it means to play safe. When I say play safe, last time I said that, someone decided to go play like right here. Which I guess wasn't too bad. But you should be playing here instead, alright? Good idea. Why? Because I'm gonna find the best crossfire for you. Your teammate should also probably find the best crossfire for you. That's a bad spot. That's probably a bad spot. That'll be smoked off. That's gonna get pre-fired and doesn't really stop plant. And if you're playing on site, you're still raped regardless. So it's kind of hard to play. You have to find ways to switch around and whatnot. You have to throw smokes on top of yourself. Do stuff like that. Generally, the best crossfire I have is if my wood player backs off and plays about right here. And, I usually, sometimes, I'll get unique every now and then. But of course, I can't play unique every time. So, what's going to be the default? Well, this spot is notoriously hard to counter. On Shack, I think there's a little bit less snow here, but if I play this, I don't think I've ever gotten a trade there. I've gotten 2 kills on a trade, maybe. I'll think about playing there, but mostly we should have both our players kind of just sit around here. Wood player, he needs to just start flashing these guys. He has to hold these guys off. Because my default is usually going to be this head breach. If you sit right here, which usually doesn't really work well, because the moment I get hit by 1 flash, they're already crossed over to there. And then my wood player's dead. So, what do? Well, you have to slow down both sides at once. How do you do that? Util. That's not something we've been doing very well. Rec don't really have the best util, but they always accidentally pull something off. Best way to help stop, probably have our mid player either pull off. You could pull off this silly one if you want to catch him earlier, but that's a bad idea, so do this. Rec don't really have a mid player. If they were playing Echo, he's going to sit back there and he's a free kill. But there's so much non-presence on this map that it's kind of hard to play everywhere and be in check constantly. Because now if you're playing right here, you have to have someone cover you here, which means now you need a B player to watch this player, to watch the wood player, for the wood player to watch me. And then the B player does whatever he wants, but simple thing to do. Whoever's playing mid here, and I need our mid player to really know this, he needs He needs to call it himself. I don't have to call it, because if I'm calling every single shot on every spot on the map, on these certain push-ups, I'm gonna go insane. You've already made me go insane. Mid player, you gotta smoke this off. Sometimes you gotta push up. You need to show presence. You need to coordinate with your wood player. Better yet, what I really want you to do, flash that, go in here, show presence here, and have your wood guy back you up. Now, we have a two-man crossfire without giving up both the A players to play A. Now, what I've done sometimes before, I would have a 𝕽𝖘𝖘𝖔𝖏𝖘 bait here, or whoever else, KJ bait there, and I'd play right here. You know what the super aggressive Shaq players do? They just do this. They just freaking run at you. What do I do here? They're dead. If played correctly. We were VOD reviewing once. I thought 𝕽𝖘𝖘𝖘 was playing here. He wasn't. Someone ran inside my body and raped me while I was trying to shoot another guy. Not ideal. That's how you want to think about all the crossfires you're setting up in this game. You cannot leave weakness. Zero weakness. You see how I'm thinking out every possibility? How I'm thinking about those players on B are affecting the mid players, affecting the A players, affecting everything, essentially. And you gotta be adaptive. When I see a million pieces of util coming over that wall, first thing I do, obviously, I'm gonna counter util them. Because I figured this out, what Rec do. The moment they cross this bend, they throw their nades over. So, I counter util them. The hell is their nades gonna do? I dodge theirs, they don't dodge mine because they're forced on that corner to get the best possible nade timing. By the way, if you want the nade to be good, there's your lineup. And if you want to learn that every time, literally just dead center. Think of the middle. Actually, she's line it up with this wall. That building right there, out of wood. Not gonna lie, you could probably... Yeah, maybe throw those knives too. That'd probably get a kill eventually. That might help with a couple rounds or whatnot. I know this is also PC version, so some things like the snow, I think, are higher. Maybe... Oh yeah, this snow is weird. Can I... Are you not walling yet? Okay. That's A site for you, alright? Let's go take a look at B site, because honestly, B site's... I think KJ 𝕻𝖆𝖆𝖘𝖔𝖓 have been doing a good job at holding it, but not good enough. We're getting like, what, 5-6 rounds against Rect on defense? 4 or 5 rounds on defense against Rect? We gotta be hitting him with 7-round defenses. We cannot be giving stuff up, and the reason we keep losing is because we keep holding these crossfires and then figuring them out rounds later. You can't figure them out rounds later. You gotta figure them out now. If I remember correctly, it's gonna be 𝕻𝖆𝖆𝖘𝖔𝖓. Obviously, I'm not speaking player for player, because I'll speak for the position, but... rosters might change, you know, whatnot. Who the hell cares? I know it's Shaq. This head peak, please play on this lower area. If you're gonna play up on this, just say hello to your head getting blown off, because that's probably gonna happen. I know Boog likes to be a queer and just sit here and do this, and then when someone gets close, they just throw their little flashbang and then they accomplish nothing. That's really abusable. When people play like that, it's bad. You want to show some sort of gun presence. Oh, also, please wallbang that. I don't see enough people do this. Because usually, for someone to peek you, you have to be up on there. And if they're running along this little area, they're gonna stop right against that wall. They have to go across that and get up there. So shooting from here is very good idea. Really just to force that allocating. Wallbangs are hard to play. They're hard to learn. They're hard to do everything in. Can you pixel that? No, you can't. I'm not gonna find exploits anyways. Crossfire-wise, I know Afterthought talked about this a bit. Smoke off one entrance. Start worrying about things less. Best plan though? I think we were smoking off these entrances. There's really no point to be doing that. These don't lead to any bomb site or any different locations. It just leads to here. So why not instead smoke off this? Now, instead of leaving van open to 2 angles and leaving these 2 open, you just leave this open to the right. And that's the cross to lockers. They're really getting nowhere from there. They get into lockers, there's not much they can do. In fact, they're kind of forced to do something. But, KJ will probably play up with the G3. KJ, I really don't like you playing up, especially on 𝕬𝖓𝖘𝖘 and Harbor, alright? There's certain contact areas you should be playing. This is a good contact area. If you crossfire with there, what are they gonna do about this? Depending on who shoots first, you can make that up. If this guy shoots first, he's dead. He's gonna get pre-fired. He's not gonna be alive, but then this guy's gonna get some kills. That guy shoots first. They might not push him, which is the better thing, which means that this guy can stay hidden. You could play some real cheeky head peeks like this. Would not recommend peeking into that, though. And peeking into this, well, you're gonna think someone's playing that head peek, and then someone's gonna be standing in the middle of nowhere, or some guy's gonna be baiting back there. So welcome to Shack. Also, just never play here, right? Maybe pistol round. If you're playing pistol round, maybe. Slight problem though. Feet, you can see. Also, I kind of missed that. You used to be able to walk into that, but can you still do this nade as well? I don't really think that nade is important. Ooh. Oh no, you can't. You used to be able to throw a nade through that window. Those wood things probably get in the way. And playing on site head peek. Well, you've probably gotten like an ace here in matchmaking before, but then you play against the quadruple flashbang, and then you're sitting here crouched forever, and then there's not much you can do. It's not bad though. It's not bad paired with a Heaven player. Sidebox plus Heaven is good. Heaven players, he's usually not going to get hit with flashes, so you want to play that crossfire. You just got to think about this stuff. Reason we're losing bad, and the reason that I get mad at you guys, none of you are coming up with stuff like this. Every single round, you can come up with some different idea. Every top team that I've played on, after every round, they don't wait for an IGL to tell them what to do. They don't go back to playing the same spot. Every single player was adaptive on their own terms. That's the good part. That's the good part on being a top team. Wrecked don't really have that, but neither do we. If we have that, wow, we would be fantastic at this video game. But I'm stuck with a bunch of lowlifes who have no idea how to play video games, so pretty unfortunate for me. Anyways, despite that, learn your crossfires, set them up, make defaults with your teammates, learn your teammates, learn the chemistry. I know we're a new team. Wrecked, or PC Wrecked, they were team for what, 5 years? They learned everything. And everyone learned each other's spots, and they rarely had any players go in and out. We want to learn this quick though, we got land coming up. Also, okay, so you can wallbang that now, but I don't really think you can technically get reached from there, but oh, yeah, if you're pre-firing that, just might as well swing him. Sorry, million different crossfires you can do. And the Wrecked we're facing aren't really going to be doing that good of a job at, like, pushing and refragging correctly. I'm pretty confident. You got a guy right there. You get a guy right here. If he plays early first peek, by the way, never play first contact peek. That would mean peeking this. The moment you let him know you're there, you're raped. You're done. Unless you're intentionally baiting yourself, or maybe a Heaven player, which that's kind of very uncomfortable range. Don't do that. Bait for maybe there, wherever if you're playing an off angle. But again, this crossfire, please set up stuff like that. And I'm not speaking limitedly here. There's a million different other crossfires you can do. You can do something like this. You could do one here, one here. You get freaky with it. Literally just get freaky. By the way, if you crouch right here, who's gonna see you? If you're standing up, look, yeah, you're dead to sight. You're crouching here, oh boy. You're gonna get away with a lot. Obviously, still don't be there, especially while crouching. But just think of stuff like that. Every single round, come up with something. Don't get your life thrown away. Now, push-ups. Push-ups we really gotta get used to. Like, really. Players like Wreck, they have like people like Jackson who throw themselves up on B main 𝕬𝖓𝖘𝖘 or stuff like that. And we're just getting raped by it. There have been times before me and 𝕬𝖆𝖏𝖚 usually take him out, we'll pre-nade him, we'll get the info. That's the kind of stuff y'all gotta be doing. But right now, only me and 𝕬𝖆𝖏𝖚 are doing that. Have some game sense, have some adaptability. Accountability for your own positions. Obviously, you're playing lower, so you don't gotta worry about that kind of stuff. But if someone pushes lower, I don't really know the 𝕬𝖓𝖘𝖔𝖓 timings. I don't really know how to check for them that well. Figure them out yourself. So again, on Harbor, smoke left. If it's a hero round, if you have a hero G3, yeah, go ahead, play right here. get freaky with it. Try to cross the lockers. By the way, people can get to B main and pre-fire your line into lockers, and you're gonna get hit slowed and killed. So be aware of that. I don't know if Rec really do that, but every single round I do that, someone tries to cross the lockers, they don't get away with it. By the way, use this spot if you ever get here. No one ever checks this. And if you're pushing, hold on. Can you even wallbang that in this version? Well, ain't that fantastic? I forgot this harbor is different. Okay, can you wallbang in here? Oh, there's also this lineup on the bomb. It's bad. Does that even work on PC? Oh yeah, it does. Don't ever use that though. I remember Joker thought he was funny using that against me, and then it clipped on him. Real fancy stuff. All right, last thing I'd like to talk about. Mid presence. Now, I may have neglected this team's mid presence a bit. I don't really do it a lot. That's because I don't have Hudson with me. When I had Hudson with me, I had someone I could trust. Also, Shaq is just bad on FPS. But honestly, you can really catch a lot of value out of teams, and the reason I don't do it is because I don't think you guys really understand the value of mid pushing. Let's take Mirage, for example. You're pushing mid, and if you push mid frequent enough, you know what the CTs are going to do? They put a guy catwalk, they put a guy mid, and then they put a guy A main. What does that mean for the other sides? That means one person's holding a site. That's the pressure you need. You need to constantly be pulling off pressure from other teams' sites. This is the deeper stuff y'all don't think about. This is why I'm crying in silence whenever I play the game with you. Because I've played the game with better teams, way better teams before. Multiple games. And the moment they see something they see two guys pushed up wood, one guy mid on them, you know what they say? Rotate B. They just say rotate B. And you know what? They're going to rotate B. These guys are going to start panicking. They get picked, rotate back. Simple stuff like that. Maybe leave a twister over here. If you guys remember the twist call out, one guy who stays. He keeps applying pressure while the rest rotate. I got to start using that call more, and I need you guys to start using that call more. Use your brains in every situation. Biggest problem y'all have is getting brain fried and you go a full 3 maps without thinking. That happens to me too. It happens to everybody. We need to remind each other to be thinking smart. We need each other to be playing smart so that everyone is mentally prepared. I know when I'm molding, it doesn't really help. Sorry about that. Maybe you'll jerk off sometime in the next week, but use your brain for a moment, all right? Literally, use your brain. I know I say that a lot, and it does sound condescending, but when I say it, I mean it. It means just think of your situation and apply yourself, as Walter White says. Apply yourself. Harbor, great example of mid pressure. 3 lanes, top mid, and you can accomplish a lot by taking mid. I remember once in a scrim, you had 3 people run along here, and some teams were overextending their players outside lockers, outside mid. Also, if you can get to here, which please do, please, if we can have mid players that successfully know how to flash over this, pre-fire so no one runs into wood, and take control of this. Also, if you're scared someone's there, I don't know if that's invisible wall or not, but just do a quick check there. And then when you have this mid fight, you have so many options. You can wallbang this. If you see them cross there, you can wallbang that. I remember killing 𝕻𝖆𝖏𝖏 that once. Taking this mid presence is good, because then you can try to get into lockers. Sorry about that, by the way. You can try to get into lockers, but lockers doesn't accomplish much. If you really want to pressure something, just walk up mid like this. I did this with someone once against Rec, and we completely butt raped that kid. And then we had their spawn, we pushed back through B, and then this guy was stuck here for eternity. Their A player tried to come through wood, and then he just got his brain shot. Mid presence. All right, next map. Let's get a bit more logical. What's in the pool? Oil rig, oil rig. Now, instead of a more map-focused map, let's go to something a bit more util and teamwork-based. The most teamwork-based map in the league, by far. All right, my job is to go upper. Except I might not do that job anymore because ever since the recent meta update, every time I run out here, I get 40 FPS. Now on PC, what I would do is I would just walk out here and the entire lobby was killed by me. with an M4. Except you can't buy M4s anymore, and now I don't have frames anymore because it's Shaq. So, GG's. It's pretty dark up here, though. That's a good thing, but then it's dark in Z, so you can't see anybody in there either. B-site push. I know we practiced the whole flash blitz thing, but that kind of got out of fashion ever since we got new players, and we didn't practice it again. Now, Afterthought was also right about the util lineups. You have stuff to bank things off. If you do something simple like that, you hit Ninja. See, that guy dead. Another nade you should throw. Always throw the nade that goes on the site here. It's just the light. You just light toss over. Lands right here. Any sort of free damage is good damage. Now, when we push B, I need y'all to just trust that I'm watching from upper. Because I'm usually gonna be out here. There's gonna be a couple smokes on site. Please, for the love of everything, do not make me rip your balls off because you thought it would be a good idea to run out here and then peek this guy. I have said since the dawn of time, just worry about the right. Worry about there. There. That is where you worry about when you push out B main. Nebula's got your ninja covered. Usually KJ, Donkey, you guys are pushing site. Donkey, by the way, what I want you to do not run directly to site right here. You are in the complete line of fire of literally everything. Run out to the left. Get this angle. Get this angle. Try to get to these stairs. If you can. These stairs are actually like super powerful. You're in a really good off angle. You have a head start there. Good for post plant. Garage players usually shouldn't get you if it's enough players alive, but B-site is so simple and people overestimate it. Rect would literally just have chill step countdown 3, 2, 1, go off flash, and they would have two players run out, and they would go a bit too far, or not, they would go correctly far to the left and take care of site. Vision would run out here. He would just rape this guy. If anybody was in C, he would just slam them. And then he'd get to this spot. That's why I like having Nebula play this position. Because I trust he has the mechanics to execute what Vision does. And when Nebula gets right here, I'm going to be right there, and they're never taking anything back. But that's a perfect world. Usually that's not going to happen. There will be casualty. Lots of casualties. Biggest thing we got to do, we can't overthink, and we cannot get messed up, and we cannot mess up getting to here in the first place. Every time we try to get here, some goofball pushes up mid. Somebody pre-nades, somebody double pushes. It's a really simple line of order that you got to go through. You run here, start of the round, and you just slow walk down. What I don't ever hear, when I watch like Solstice and Wrecked VODs, they're always cautious, they're always talking to each other. Every time you guys push this, I hear nothing, and then I hear like they're pushing, and then the comms that go back are just nothing. I've told y'all a million times, flash close left, you push out. It's that simple. Because this guy's really gonna have nowhere to go. Split up, sandwich the dude. Best they get is a 1-to-1 trade. It's Shaq, so they're gonna somehow find a way to one-tap flick up you, but it is what it is. I want a dedicated lurk, but I'm the only one on the team who knows how to lurk. Except maybe Afterthought. He could probably be good for the mid presence. I don't want to put Nebula on it because we kind of need a Nebula to entry frag along with KJ and Donkey, who are our flick up warriors. When we have a lurk, the lurk should do this, alright? Please, if you ever want to be lurk, keep this in mind. If we're in spawn and I ask for a lurk, if you know what I'm about to say, please speak up, because I need someone to do this. Lurk does this. You run immediately, start of the round, no one knows the nade timing. They're not going to catch you. If you have your joystick held forward and you cut every corner, you'll be fine. I do this every single time and I never get tagged by nades, because they always throw it way too early. Shoot a couple shots, literally just shoot a couple shots, throw a pre-nade, give yourself away. Now, any good team would call the cross and have someone underpass ready for you. Other teams, they get paranoid and they have bad players who forget about you. Sprint peek this, always sprint peek this. And make sure nobody pushes up long. You cannot give away your life. This goes for every single map, every single spot. You watch the push-up, you sprint peek the angle. Watch the push-up, sprint peek the angle. Always, constantly be doing that. Sprint peek this. Walk up. If you're walking up with two people, have the guy on the far right watching close left and have the guy on the left watching far right. Technically, you could have this, but then he's gonna have to flick onto that guy, and then this guy's gonna have to, yeah. Just call it with your teammate, whichever one you prefer. Also, same thing. Sprint peek the angle. People love to hold angles on this. And I see so many people do this and then just go raw into the gunfight. Please don't. Keep your life. Keep your life. Your life is important. Sprint peek that. I always flash that too. And if you have a nade, I start cooking my nade here. Hit that wall and it rolls right into there. They get hit by that nade, you cross this. Obviously, I don't expect y'all to do that exact order of util. But keep that stuff in mind. Nade here, S tier. Flash here, S tier. And even better, flash deep there. I don't know where that knife came from. Cross, and then you become a problem. And another thing, think smart. When you cross here, you don't have to get up here and you don't have to start gunfighting. If the enemy was trying to fight you and you cross past him, sometimes I just stay here. I'll just stay here for a bit. Because the enemy, they're panicking. They're panicking. One elbow. They're going to be focusing on everything. Give time. I have time to call rotates. I don't have to panic. And if this guy decides to push up, he's gone. Because I know people like to push up underpass and retake from elbow. If they get elbow control, that's bad. If you just do this, like KJ did once, where he decided he had the great idea to sprint peek here, even though there was someone virus, and there was everything in the game that told them that there could be somebody virus. Sprint peek the angle. Not the world. There. KJ, you could have saved yourself a lot of trouble if that guy at the G3 hit you once or twice doing that, then completely killing you. And you wonder why my mentor. Now, A site's a bit more of a difficult take. People play these head peeks, people play these pits, but most of the time, people are not that smart, so they don't play it perfectly every time. Another really good thing to do, what I want the team to start learning how to do, have a guy, preferably someone who knows the recoil pattern, be along this wall, have two teammates walk along this wall, so that little goofball here, every single Shaq player in the world is going to be sprint peeking this. If you're constantly pre-firing this, constantly chipping him away, get to this corner and then just start doing this, you have your teammates walk up. That's the smart level thinking you gotta have. When you don't have smart level thinking, you know what happens? Everyone starts doing their own thing and then they just start doing this. This guy throws a flashbang, you're all standing right here. Exactly. Not really much more I want to go over. Rotate order is probably the last thing I need to go over. 1, 1, 3. Nebula calls mid. Whoever is here, you go underpass. You jiggle this, you make sure nobody crosses. That is your goal. You only rotate back if someone calls full B and you hear the bomb being planted. If you hear the bomb being planted, that should be your only tell. Trust your own game sense. And also, I've had multiple people play quad before, and I've seen them wide swing this. Stop doing that. Either you can play quad technically by doing this if you want to 3-stack closer to sight because they're pushing it fast, or just play the damn head peek. It's not that hard. You don't even have to play quad either. If you want to play the crouch peek right here and watch them drop out while we have 2 people on site, hold those kind of crossfires. Because honestly, our normal B holds haven't been working. Especially with the low FPS, I can't really get multi-kills that well in Shaq. There's going to be smokes here, smokes there, like 2 people run out there, and if I get close, I'm guaranteed a trade. I think KJ Long, Donkey playing back on site with me, and Afterthought playing quad, that would be fantastic. I'd kind of like that oil rig lineup. Obviously, we don't really have the time for a perfect world. I don't want 𝕵𝕵𝕵 playing, because 𝕵𝕵𝕵's failed quad like every single time that he's played it. No offense to you, 𝕵𝕵𝕵, but... Also, another thing. Behold. I've had people go stairs more. Again, I know, like, it may seem like I don't want you going places like stairs, but I do. You just have to do it the right way. If you pub rush into stairs, start of the round, figure that one out for yourself and then figure out what happens next when you have 3 flashbangs on every person on the enemy team. Smoke this, pre-nade it. If you're constantly pre-nading it, that means they're not going to check you. They're more unlikely to check you. You get to here, someone gets to here. What do you think is going to happen to the enemy once they start running out, getting worried about Z, getting worried about vent, quad, sight? That's like 6 different angles then they have to worry about. You have a crossfire right there, a bait crossfire. I need to come up with a name for that. Bait fires. Yeah, we'll just call them bait fires. Set up bait fire with me would literally mean set up a crossfire in which you bait off of each other. Like the ones I was talking about on Harbor. Upper players, think about this for yourself. Like, as you're watching this video, think about how 1, 2 enemies would be coming up here, 3 enemies would be coming up here, smokes are all over site, but you're not allowed to play here. You have 3 players, and they're all playing close sight. What do you think the best way to set them up is? I'll give you 15 seconds to think, and then I'll tell you what my thought is. No util included, just the player positions, as if you're not throwing your own util. Hopefully you've come up with something interesting. My best idea, there, this head peak, sight. Why is that? Specifically there because of this devious peak right here. That guy, usually if you're on stairs and you have a quad player, you're boned for the most part. He can't really help you too much. It's too long range of an angle, especially on Shaq, to trust that you're gonna beam him fast enough. Now, if you're a bit closer and you're playing right here, this guy tries to run up, things are gonna go a lot better. And if they try to kill this guy, look who's watching there. You have your sight player who should be worrying. He should let him out to the left and worry just about straight. We really do need to call out for this. We'll just call this, like, this lane is just called straight. Straight, ninja. These have other callouts, but I don't really know them. They had other calls. I'll probably have to go over those as well. I don't want to cram too much information into this video. This is probably, what, 30 minutes long already? So yeah, quite a bit length, but anyways. And a number of crossfires could work. This isn't the perfect crossfire. I haven't even thought about it that long. But what you gotta do is you gotta think about it yourself. Same thing on A site. Rotate order. 1, 1, 3. Things go bad on A. I take mid from Nebula. Nebula pushes up. A player backs off. Now we are in a 2-1-2. I'm holding bridge. Full A push. I push up to A. Secondary B player comes in. He watches bridge. A player lurks. Bomb gets planted. It should be like a 3-2 split then. Underpass guy probably running through, going to elbow. Underpass, the last guy here, last guy anchor, would be the underpass player. So he would be running along lounge to there to solve that. Made my point. Let me see if there's any other maps that I really want to think about that are inside of the map. Harbor, Stallbreaker, Manor. I guess I'll just use Manor as another fantastic example of crossfires. Strat-wise, interesting stuff. We kind of got slammed by 𝕷𝖊𝖘𝖘𝖔𝖓 on it, but again, nobody was really caring about playing that much. Wow, this Manor looks a lot better, but I'm not gonna gloss over PC for too much. These angles are slightly different, but they should not be too much. At least for the most part. You can still get up on stairs here. I think it's a higher angle on PC. Yeah, it's a bit different. This fence has a little thingy there. Oh, you can also peek over this too. Yeah, map is a bit different, but anyways, this crossfire right here, really simple. There should be no reason to lose B, and we never really lose B that much on defense anyways. This guy is playing this defensively, preferably with flashbangs. Nebula's gonna be here. He's gonna have his full 30 rounds going straight through there, raping everybody. That one's a pretty common crossfire. Again, look at the site. Think of other crossfires you can hold. One guy there, one guy there. Think about it. I don't really think you should ever do that though, because this is already powerful and one-sided enough. And also, if you leave your hits player, alley's gonna be a problem if teams start pushing that. A site is the real problem. I want to, like, mid and grass are the two positions on this map that I'm having trouble trusting people on. A site, Donkey has been playing A site well when I see him play it. Oh, I mean, myself in the spot. He's playing this right here. This should be the angle that you are all the time. Jiggling this. If people run out, you just want to get damage on. Don't give yourself fully away. Maybe throw something towards Obby a bit. Get to the right, free fire. But what you want to do most is you want to keep your life. You want to wait for grass to get over here. Again, there's a specific rotate order as well. The rotate order is always the same. Guy closest takes your spot. Guy closest takes his spot. So, mid guy takes garden. Garden goes in there. And then other guy comes over. He takes garden. Garden goes in there. And you have 3 players here. You start retaking together. Another thing we're gonna get used to, retake group ups. You just group up together, full determined style, and then you just 3, 2, 1, push out, and then you're coordinated with it. I can't really explain too much on Manor because it's really not a map that we've learned, but I think I'll end that there. Please, if you watch this entire thing, DM me like the word cookie so that I know you did, so that I know I can play you in like the next scrims. Please. I want to win land. I can't lose to Wrecked again, alright?